Prince William, his wife Kate and their children have been spotted getting off a £73 budget flight to Scotland, amid a row over Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's private jet trips. The Duke of Cambridge and Duchess of Cambridge took the 8:45 am flight from Norwich International Airport to Aberdeen Airport with their children this morning. The royal couple and their family can be spotted being escorted from the budget Flybe plane and getting into waiting vehicles, where they are expected to be whisked away to visit the Queen and Prince Philip at Balmoral. A passenger on the plane who spotted them said, "The family were sat right at the front. I fly this route all the time and we were none the wiser. No one knew they were on the flight. Later on I realized that Kate's mother was sat a few rows in front of me." Looking like you archetypal family man on holiday, Prince William can be seen clutching a number of bags while George, 6, and Charlotte, 4, run excitably alongside him. Surprised passengers saw Kate walking just behind her husband and holding Louis, 1, alongside the family's nanny Maria Barallo. A spokesman for Kensington Palace said, "We do not comment on what they do with their private time as a family." It comes as Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have found themselves embroiled in a hypocrisy row after being pictured leaving the south of France on Saturday, their fourth trip by private jet. Harry and Meghan, who have been outspoken on environmental issues in recent months, generated an estimated 7 times the emissions per person compared to a commercial flight when flying home from Nice. Photographs of the royal couple and 3-month-old Archie showed the family stepping on board the Cessna 680 Citation Sovereign jet on Saturday at about 3 p.m. local time, having arrived in France 3 days earlier. The use of private jets has prompted criticism of the couple, but Sir Elton John and actress Jameela Jamil have defended them. Sir Elton claimed he had ensured Prince Harry and Meghan's flight to and from the French Riviera last week were carbon neutral by making the appropriate contribution to a carbon footprint fund. He condemned the relentless and untrue assassinations on their character and wrote on social media that he had made sure the flight was carbon neutral by making the appropriate contribution to a carbon footprint fund. Meanwhile, The Good Place star claimed it was not safe for civilians to be on the same flights as members of the royal family. She tweeted, "Ugh, dear England and English press, just say you hate her because she's black, and him for marrying a black woman and be done with it, goddamn it. Your bullying is so embarrassing and obvious. You've all lost your marbles. It's 2019. Grow up. And also, it's not safe for us to be on the same planes as royals or presidents, you absolute muppets. They are prime targets for kidnap and sometimes assassination. It's in the interest of us civilians to not be endangered by proximity to people in such powerful positions." Royal experts said the British public do not want to be lectured on climate change by those who don't follow their own advice, while MPs said the trips do not fit with their public image they project as eco-warriors. The couple visited the £15 million palatial home of Castel Montana Alban, owned by Sir Elton John and his husband David Furnish, overlooking the Promenade des Anglais during their holiday to the French Riviera. The trip to Nice came shortly after Harry and Meghan, who married in May last year, had returned by private jet to the UK from Ibiza after a 6-night break on the Spanish island to mark the Duchess's 38th birthday. Last Wednesday, Harry and Meghan had arrived in France on a 12-seater Cessna aircraft, despite there being more than 20 scheduled commercial flights from London to Nice each Wednesday costing as little as £100 each. The Cessna plane would have cost more than £20,000 to hire, meaning Harry and Meghan could have taken 200 flights to Nice for the same price. The visit to France came after their first Mediterranean holiday of the summer, a trip to Ibiza which saw them fly out on August 6 before returning last Monday. Both journeys were again made by private jet. Veteran royal watcher Phil Dampier told Mail Online today, "Whether you think recent criticism of Harry and Meghan is fair or not, it's worrying to me that they don't seem to care and aren't about to change their behavior. They must have known that taking private jets 4 times in quick succession would leave them open to charges of hypocrisy, but they just went ahead and did it anyway. They are not unique. Other royals have taken private jets, but they have been criticized over the years as well. I certainly don't believe they are getting a bad press because the British public are racist. It is simply that people don't like to be lectured on climate change by those who don't follow their own advice." The author of Royally Suited, Harry and Meghan, in their own words added, Some families slave away all year to afford one nice holiday, and they shouldn't be made to feel guilty about harming the planet when Harry and Meghan are swanning about in luxury. Meanwhile, Paul Maritso, a climate campaigner for Greenpeace UK, told Mail Online, an airliner is over 10 times as polluting as a modern train, and private jets are 10 times more polluting still. It's vitally important that all frequent flyers reduce the number of flights they take if we are to confront the climate emergency, and that means the last thing we should be doing is building new runways anywhere in the UK. Labour MP Theresa Pearce said, given the position they have taken publicly about being responsible on climate change, this does seem an anomaly which they should look at. I find this quite surprising because it doesn't fit with their public image and the way they're so concerned about the planet and the environment. Ken Wharf, an ex-royal protection officer who guarded Princess Diana, said, frankly it's hypocritical. Harry can't be preaching about the catastrophic effects of climate change while jetting around the world on a private plane. Kensington Palace declined to comment on Harry and Meghan's trip when contacted by Mail Online. Friends of the Earth climate change campaigner Aaron Keeley said last week, the Duke of Sussex speaks wonderful and stirring words on the environment and then he flies off on holiday to a European destination in a private jet. He could have taken a train and then a boat. This would have been the perfect opportunity to set an environmental example. On August 6, the first day of the holiday to Ibiza, the only private plane traveling to Ibiza from Farnborough Airport was a Gulfstream 200. Which can hold up to 19 people. It left at 7:49 am UK time and touched down on the Balearic Island at 10:49 am local time. 6 days later, on Monday of last week, a 9-seater Cessna 500 XL, owned by NetJets, left Ibiza at 10:14 am local time and landed at Farnborough at 11:20 am UK time and is understood to have been carrying the royals. At least one leg of the journey is understood to have been booked through NetJets, which has earned the nicknames Hertz for heirs or Uber for billionaires because it serves the wealthy. It is not known who paid for the flights, which would have cost around £20,000 return. But NetJets are linked to Harry's close friend Nacho Figueras, an Argentine sportsman known as the David Beckham of polo. Mr. Figueras is understood to own one of the jets and often uses his social media profiles to promote them. It is also possible they may have borrowed a private jet from a friend whose plane is managed by a hire company. NetJets has 750 planes for hire worldwide and boasts of offering an unmatched experience to rich clients. Once in Ibiza, the couple stayed in the Vista Alegre gated complex of sea-facing mansions and were guarded by British and Spanish state security personnel. There was also anger at the lack of transparency surrounding the trip, with royal representatives refusing to disclose how much it cost taxpayers. A source on the island told Mail Online the royals landed in Ibiza on August 6 with several taxpayer-funded Metropolitan Police bodyguards. They added that 5 close protection officers from the Spanish security forces joined the group escorting them to their private villa. The most expensive villas overlooking the azure waters of Ibiza's Portruig Bay are listed at £20,000 per week, but the price of others on inquiry rises to £120,000 per week, reported The Sun. Buckingham Palace claimed that it was a private matter and declined to comment. Harry and Meghan's trip to France was estimated to have had a carbon footprint of just over 3 tons and their earlier trip to Ibiza was believed to have had a footprint of more than 4 tons. The carbon footprint of an average person in the UK is 13 tons a year. Meanwhile, it was reported last week that Harry and Meghan asked the Queen if they could live in Windsor Castle when they were planning their life together. She was said to have politely, but firmly, suggested that they move to Frogmore Cottage instead. The couple's decision to use a private jet for their Ibiza trip means the journey would have emitted 6 times more carbon dioxide per person than a scheduled flight from London to the Spanish island. The flights there and back would have given out 12.5 tons of carbon dioxide. There are around 14 scheduled flights from London and the southeast to Ibiza each day. Their choice of transport flew in the face of their frequent public pronouncements on green issues. In an interview published in the September issue of Vogue with conservationist Jane Goodall, Harry revealed that he and Meghan wanted a maximum of 2 children because of environmental concerns. The issue was guest edited by the Duchess, and she chose climate change activist Greta Thunberg as one of her forces for change to be put on the front cover. Greta, 16, traveled to New York from England by boat because she refuses to travel by plane. The couple's string of private jet flights also comes after Harry attended a green summit organized by tech giant Google in Sicily at the end of July, where he delivered an impassioned speech on saving the environment. He was reportedly barefoot as he gave his lecture to VIPs and power brokers. However, it was claimed Google paid for his flights and a helicopter to a luxury resort where he is said to have stayed on a gas-guzzling super yacht. Other royals have used cheap airlines for their flights alongside the public. Prince Harry boarded a Wizz Air flight from Luton to Transylvania in 2012, and in 2015 Prince William, 37, used a Ryanair plane to get to Scotland. In 2011 he was also joined by wife Kate, also 37, on a Flybe flight to Zara and Mike Tyndall's wedding.